Hello, henchman, and welcome back to Monsters Matter with the villainous mad. I'm Smiley,
And I'm having the great.
and today we're bringing you the bitchest of the witches.
That is right. So, as you see outside of the city, a small hut. In this hut is an older woman, very nice to the village people. She picks from her apple tree, and she brings apples to town and sells them and talks to the children almost on a daily basis. In this hut, she has the smells of warm apple pie floating through the air. The kids that come into her yard, she gives them apples, lets them have slices of this. As the weeks go on, there's 5 or 6 kids out there, and before you know it, there's 4 kids, 3 kids. It gets down to a couple kids. Panic is really setting in the town. They do not know what's happened to these children. As the town comes together and they do not know. They're scared. Parents are weeping and crying. They do not know where their children have been. They don't know where their children have went. As this woman every day comes to town and buys apples, gets pie out, invites the kids in for dinner. On this particular evening, some of the children, they start to think that maybe this is not a good idea. Their friends are no longer here. They're gone. As they're in this hut, eating their apple pie, talking to this elderly woman, this woman that they have met and grown to love, they start to feel an eerie feeling. As they look down into their bowl, and for the first time in weeks,
Keep looking at me. I was eating my apple pie.
they're not eating pie. They're not tasting pie. That looks awful. Everything in here is not what they see. They grab their head, they rub their eyes, they look around. At this moment, this woman is not a woman. This woman is a witch. They scream for their life as it grabs them up. The other one darts towards the door as it slams shut. The screams are hollowed out because nobody knows what is actually going on, because it is mimicking sounds. It sounds like they're having a good time inside this hut, but indeed they're not. It jabs these children. It uses these children. It cages these children. They are now trapped. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to say.
They're not tomorrow's apple pie.
As in town, at the local inn, adventurers are hearing of this missing child. As they go up to the wall and they go up to the wall and they look and they see that there's 5 or 6 missing children. Nobody knows where they are. The town is in an uproar. They're scared. They're panicked. They don't know what to do. These adventurers take it upon themselves to not only find out what happened to these children, but to possibly face an evil
Saving arm.
that they cannot see. And that, my friends, is a quest for your adventurers to go and fight an old lady. And that is where we're going
A
to
green
start
hag.
this. I hope I did justice to it.
Oh, you did good. I would have actually had it where the children were coming back.
Yeah, I kind of set it up
the next
for
day.
Our,
She was devouring the children
There we
and
go.
making hag babies. Irrelevant.
I kind of set it up for you
I'm a
to
horrible person.
for the ending scene that we did. Anyway.
I was so wanting that beaten pie to be a little Timmy. I was so wanting that apple pie to be a little Timmy.
Yes, for those who don't know, the hags are very mean,
Page
very nasty.
177, if
Yes.
you'd open up your books. 177 in the Monster Manual. And though it's just a small descriptory paragraph, page 56 of Volo's Guide, if you wish to learn more in that regard.
Yeah.
Anyways, the hag, the matrons of despair, depression, they love tragedy. They like a good soap opera. That's the thing. They love
Yes.
a good soap opera. But because it's not TV in D&D, they have to make them themselves. With villagers. They're not. They are an early enemy. The green hag is what is the iconic hag now. Where everything you think of when you think of a hag is just the green hag.
Yes.
Literally, I've used them before. He has played in one of my encounters with a green hag.
Usually you don't notice the villain until it's almost too late.
They had dinner with a hag. Invited them in, wonderful time, and then they found little Timmy's toenails. Because I'm a sick fuck.
Yeah, so James Bond himself could not figure out who the hag is. No. That's how good they are, and they're illusionary, and their mimicry of voice.
Oh yes,
and their plots that they set forth,
and their always invisibility.
As I started out, the children, that was just a starting point to get something much bigger. And prey adventurers are put underneath their hand.
I like to see hags as bargainers.
Yes.
As in, they post up near a town, discreetly sell a bit of tragedy to get people to come. Like, my son is missing. I can't find him. What can I do? Can you help us bring him back? Yes, of course. They make the deal with them, bring the son back. Son comes back wrong because little do they know, the son's a changeling, a hag spawn, a baby. The hag because he devoured their actual child,
which could again tie into how to use the hag at the beginning. Lure a couple children in, and then get this changeling. Have him go in and say, "I saw the kids going into that."
I thought that's where we were going first.
Almost did.
Despite how long your descriptions are, I do love them because as you're doing, I'm thinking of different ways you can go with it, like 1,000 times.
Yeah,
that's why we do these because we think very differently.
Yes.
I still want a hagmobile. Every time I see this page, I want a hagmobile. Damn it!
That looks amazing.
I want that flying skull there. I want to drive that to work.
Their image is also off-putting.
Yes, they are absolutely hideous.
They are hideous. They are not frail. They are very strong, and they are very powerful, evil, freaking creatures.
These are the things that the Salem witch trials are designed to find.
Yes.
They are very stereotypical in every shape, way, and form of a witch. They turn themselves beautiful. They are hideous. They manipulate others. They mimic everything. They can do magic. They can turn themselves invisible at will. The Volos Guide has bits in here about layer actions and I think legendary actions too, and regional effects for green hags.
They're all about your mind, tricking your mind and seeing things and hearing things that's not really there.
They are a deceptive enemy. They're not. If you play a hag where they just run up and attack, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
I will say I'm dissatisfied in 5e about the hags not having nearly as many spells.
Yeah, they took some of those back.
My general practice with hags they are CR3. I give them spells of like a 3rd level character, just to give them a few spells going on because I feel that's iconic for them. I know that's indicative of their covens, but I feel like a hag should be capable of magic in any form.
Correct.
I do like weird magic though. That's in one of the books.
Anything else we can cover over the history of a hag?
The history of the hag?
Well, like what makes a hag? We've covered, I think, basically everything. But
they are fae. They are fairies. They're from the Feywild.
Are they?
They're not appreciated.
I'm about to say, are they naturally evil?
They are naturally evil. They are neutral evil, I believe.
They are.
But they are also the most versatile of hags because they live in forests, swamps, and bogs. The common everyday environment that most adventures take place in for some reason. You don't have to shoehorn them in with like you do a sea hag or a burr hag.
Yeah.
And this hags stay up in mountains and have all these big monsters and ogres and goblins. A green hag, they just fuck with people.
Yeah, they can go where they want. They can look like whatever they want.
Their monstrous companions are more thematic, in my opinion.
They can breathe air and water as well.
Yes. Because they're bogs. They're bog hags.
Nasty.
Yeah, swamp hags. Those are natural, I think.
Anything you want to do to close us out here, Smiley?
I was on where we were closing. I just started talking and stuff.
Well, go ahead.
But, no. The village set you down. They would not even let you stay at the local tavern. You did an investigation and believe that this place is beset by a witch in the woods that they are scared to offend. So you track down through nightmarish constructions that appear to be scarecrows but scream with the voice of children as you attack them. You finally find the old knotted tree twisting up like a devil's hand reaching for the sky as if to blot out the sun. And as you approach the rickety, rotting door, you hear the voice inside. Well, come in. Let's see what this is about.
And that was that for me?
No, just keep it short. Keep it
Yeah,
short.
So earlier, the description I gave, the party would go up to the board and they would find out where this hag is, and they could possibly go hunt her down. And as they're on their doorstep, possibly these what they play out there? These scarecrow people?
No, they're just scarecrows. They're in the hospital.
Possibly they could have been the children, which is awful. Hags can do that. When you use a hag, to close out here, I'm sure Smiley agrees with me. Make it feel rough and
make it horrifying,
because they're not just like this random killing beast. They love to torment people.
Seriously, watch movies about the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Because those are the watch movies about witches in general,
Yeah.
like like thematically, like anything involving witches.
Yeah.
Like covens, those type of things are those horrifying. Like even what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Like poltergeist stuff.
Yeah.
Those are things that a hag will do from the back. They are thematically perfect for witch hunters, which is something I know a lot about.
Correct.
I made a class about it.
Good name drop. But y'all should definitely, like most people think of them as a hut out in the middle of the swamp. It's all decrepit looking. That could be it, but also it could be this fine house that you thought was on the outside of town.
You see, I like keeping it as otherworldly things,
Yeah.
things that you wouldn't like a shoe.
Yeah.
Like a 60-foot tall shoe for me is a perfect house for a hag. Because they're fae.
Yeah.
I like keeping it
and with their illusionary magic and everything, that's not a shoe. That's not a house over there. That's a shoe.
Yeah, like to them, like, well, I found a shoe, so that's my house.
But I think that's all we got for y'all
flying
guys.
shoe
Which could be possible. That's all we got for y'all.
with ballista.
If you want to know the stats and the spells and all the abilities of a hag, page 177, right there it has it. And if Smiley ain't got anything else for us towards the end of the close, I'm sure we do, but we try to keep these videos around the same mark. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check our YouTube out. You can also like,
comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Check these videos out. Use these monsters how they're supposed to be used. They're not to throw dice and fight. They're to scare the shit out of your party.
Have fun with it. Tell a story.
Yes.